Tommy, unfortunately, another frustrating defeat.
Yep, same old. Feel like I'm rewinding and then pressing play and keep repeating the same things. Saturday and tonight, I don't think we deserve to lose 2 games of football, but we have. The lads are deflated, but we've just spoken in length about it. The lads, they keep talking about keeping clean sheets and that being the priority. And I think when you have a mindset going into a game of keeping a clean sheet, your head falls to pieces the minute you can see the goal. So I think we've got to change that mentality straight away. If we can go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, there's still plenty of time to go and get back in a game of football. And I want the lads to play with freedom at the minute and stop beating themselves up. And I think the team talk that we've just had has lifted spirits a little bit, because they are deflated. I think they're starting to worry, which is, I've been in this situation before, so the last thing you want to be doing at this time is pointing fingers and digging people out on and off the pitch, and telling people how bad they are at football, because ultimately it'll only get worse from that point. That wasn't that bad tonight. We've lost a game of football. We're in the relegation zone, so it's not great, but that wasn't a bad performance, and I'd like to think that performance wouldn't get pulled apart.
Recovered so well after losing Dom Collins with that torn hamstring, and you had to reshuffle things and put a lad on who was usually a midfielder at right back. Yeah,
well, this is the plus point of probably having Whitey as my assistant, because Whitey knew that Tom Portas could play in that position. So straight away, you have that inside knowledge for me coming in as an outsider, if you like, and I thought he filled in unbelievably well. Josh, Brownie and obviously Terry, they used to play in the back 4, and then we adapted to the 4 across midfield with 4 players that were all here last year and that have played that system, and I just think it flowed naturally. Millsy and Rhys up there, I think, caused problems, and I was probably delighted with Millsy today getting his man of the match award.
The game seemed to swing against Quakers though in those mad 2 minutes, with Rhys's penalty and then the score from that set piece. Rhys has apologised for the penalty. He's spoken from the heart. What was your view of it all?
Yeah, he shouldn't have done it. He should have blasted it. But I've been a centre forward full of confidence, and that's the kind of thing you do when you're full of confidence. And I've also been a striker that hasn't scored in 10 games, and you wouldn't even dare want that football. So be careful what you wish for in terms of that. It takes a lot for a player to take a penalty. It takes a lot of balls. And he is full of confidence, full of beans, and I think the last thing I want to do is dwell on that. He missed a penalty. He could have smashed that, by the way, and the keeper has saved it, and we would have said he missed a penalty. He shouldn't have done it. He did. I won't be going over it and over it again. He's been an absolute revelation since he signed for his football club, and I think we get behind him and cheer him on and cheer every single one of his goals, because he hasn't become a bad player or a villain just for making one mistake, because we've all made mistakes.
To be fair to him, he's spoken to us and he's really determined to bounce back on Saturday and score against Alfred.
Yeah, and I think that's the man that he is. He's held his hand up in that dressing room, and like I say, I've played with a lot of players that would have hid from that and probably not even apologised to their teammates, and I think that shows what kind of lad and player he is, and that'll be hurting him a lot. He's got to obviously drive back to Birmingham now. A lot of thinking space, and I've been in that boat, not missing a penalty like that, but I've missed a chance, missed one at Wembley, and and you kind of still going through my mind today, just now. So strikers, footballers in general make mistakes, and it's how you bounce back from it.
Is Alfreton now in the must-win category?
We go there and we want to win a game of football. If we lose, we won't go down, no, and if we win, we won't get in the playoffs, but we are desperate for a win. I think as long as the performances stay, I'm not overly concerned at this point. I think there's probably 6, 7, maybe 8 teams still in the mix, but we've got to stay in the pack. I don't want to be having a mountain to climb and having to win 5 or 6 games back to back just to have a chance. I do believe we're in a false position, but losing to Harrogate away on New Year's Day and losing to Salford today ultimately isn't the reason why we are where we are.
Dominic Collins went off injured. He didn't look too good. What's the situation now?
It looks a bad one. I think he might have pulled his hamstring off the bone. I think it could be as bad as that. You know, I don't think it's a clever one at all. It's a serious pull, and I would imagine he'll be out for a long time.
But that's something we'll have to overcome and put right in time for Saturday.
Yeah, it is. You know, we've whether or not we stick with the same shape or we adjust to what we did in the second half. Ultimately, it will be whether or not, say, Luke Trotman makes a recovery in time to play wing back, if you like. Obviously, Terry can go in and play centre half, so we can reshuffle it, but we'll pick a team and a system that suits the players that we've got available to us.